We've reached the month of July, which means the JOs are closer than ever. All coming up next on a brand new counterattack. Hi everyone, Greg Mescall here, joining you for a brand new counterattack brought to you by the Rudy Project and XX2Y. We've hit the month of July. Happy 4th of July week to everybody, which means the Junior Olympics are closer than ever. The world's largest water polo tournament gets started in just a couple of weeks. Don't forget to use the hashtag 2017JOs when talking about Junior Olympics and submitting your stories to media@usawaterpolo.org, as we want to tell the great stories of your clubs, teams, athletes, coaches headed to JOs. With that in mind, we look back to a fun story from last year on one club from the state of Ohio named Moose Water Polo.
Very exciting. We just won. Past games kind of brought us down, but I think this really brought our spirit up, and I think we'll drive from here on.
Well, this was kind of our breakout game. We started to really mesh as a team and just find each other in the water, and we won, so that was good. And yeah, it was fun.
I think what makes these girls' team so great is that we're a collection of schools from all over the Cincinnati area, all over Ohio, and even all over the Midwest. And they just come together for a common goal of getting better at water polo. And it's such a family atmosphere. Everybody works together. There's no infighting with that. We all have a common goal, and it's really awesome to see that.
Oh, Moose Water Polo. I think it's like the whole family aspect, because we're like one whole big family, and we get along really well together, and we like mesh. So like if somebody has a weird quirk, we're like, hey, we like that weird quirk. So everything's awesome with our family.
It's amazing because we can come out here and see the best players in the nation, and we can see what that looks like at the highest level and how those teams work together. What's even better about that, we're able to come out a little bit early and train with some other teams. The camaraderie with other teams and other clubs in this area is amazing. They're so generous in wanting to host us. We've done scrimmages with them, we've done practices with them, and being able to just be in a practice and see what those minutes look like is so important for those girls to bring back to Ohio.
Well, we've been starting younger. We have a 14 and under team as of now, but that just needs to keep growing, and people need to be more interested in the sport. We don't have as many pools as we do out here. We have to build indoor pools, so it's more expensive, and pool time's expensive, and so people don't have as much money, and there's just not as much interest, so we just need to grow it and get the older kids to invite the younger kids to start. Swimming is super dominated in Ohio as well, and we fight for pool time with them, and it just makes it really challenging to grow to sport, but it's such a fun sport that I think if people started in Ohio, they would love it.
One of the biggest goals is to start younger. So we've built up an 18 and under program, and we're starting to come out to JOs more, and we have more and more teams around the state developing. But the big key is going to be developing the 14 and under and possibly even the 12 and under division. If we can start to grow that more, then 4 or 5 years down the road, that's going to pay off big time. We're a hungry state. We're not a state that just wants to sit back and take it all in. We want to go out and seek. We're out there, we're adventurous, I think, and that we're really trying to grow. We want to get better. And all these girls that are on our team are doing all the right things to get better, and I think that's really what matters. So there's such an excitement with it too. They're not just doing it to do it, they're doing it because they really want to do it and get better at it.
Favorite experience? Definitely winning this last game was definitely our favorite experience, but along with playing with this team, it's just definitely tops anything else.
It's very challenging. It can sometimes be really frustrating, but we're just out here to learn and to get better and to bring back the skills to make Ohio ultimately better in the future. And so we can come out here 5 years, 4 years down the road and do better than we have ever done.
So don't forget, visit usawaterpolo.org/Junior Olympics for everything JOs related. More pressing this weekend, the Golden State Invitational takes place starting Friday at the University of the Pacific in Stockton, California. All the details available at usawaterpolo.org under the Events tab. Click on the Golden State Invitational. Get a look at the schedule. Best of luck to all the teams competing. We'll have results next week here on the show. Now we turn to the senior national teams and the FINA World Championships. It's the biggest event of the year. It's coming up later this month in Budapest, Hungary. The USA women start July 16th, the men July 17th. Rosters haven't been announced yet, but both teams have taken their traveling groups to Hungary to compete ahead of the big World Championship event. Before they left, we caught up with a couple of athletes on both sides with their thoughts on the FINA World Championships.
Well, obviously, we've only been back in the United States for about 2.5 weeks now, so it's been a focus of ours to gain chemistry with each other and know how one another play together, know each other's tendencies, and also there are a lot of new players, me included, so it's a new system to get used to. So just keeping everyone up to speed and on the same page has been one of the focuses of before Worlds.
I think just trying to get back into the best shape that I can be in. Obviously it won't be quite where it was back in the Olympics, but also just reforming connections that I had and forming new connections with people I haven't played with. I think just being aware of that fact, and we've talked about it, and we're really going to focus on that quarterfinal game and making it into the medal rounds and be in contention for a medal.
It's still very shocking to me that I'm Olympian. It's very hard for me to recognize it still, but it kind of helps. Being called an Olympian helps me be a leader on the team and helps me get along with the guys way better. Deon said we're taking an older team right now to prepare for Worlds, but it's still up in the air, so we're not really sure.
We're going to use in Russia and 2 weeks in Europe after that, for prepare much as we can, for the World Championship in Budapest. We're going to play competition games. This is something different, and we're learning. But I like what I see that newcomers are learning fast.
And now from the senior national teams to the youth national teams. An action going on right now in Lima, Peru at the UANA Youth Pan American Championships. Team USA men and women are on hand competing. Here's a look at the rosters for both squads. The teams got off to a hot start on day one of action. They won their games by a combined score of 47-3. So off to a hot start, to say the least. We'll have full results of this event next week on the Counterattack. In the meantime, keep up with the action by visiting usawaterpolo.org. And now we turn to our social media, send off an abbreviated version of some of the best stuff we found on the internet this week, and we start things off in Peru. Team USA taking part in the opening ceremony. Here's a look at some of the squad members involved. Thanks to Jen Goodmanson for sharing this on Twitter. Flop Friday this past Friday, Utah getting in the mix. Leanne sending in this video. And now we go out to a bakery in Madrid, Spain that makes all kinds of treats, including water polo cakes. Check out this video via Instagram of this cake. Great definition there. We love a good water polo cake. So there you have it, some of the best stuff we saw on the internet this week. Don't forget to stay involved. Use the hashtag Counterattack. We'll share your stuff next week on the show. That'll do it for this week's episode. Thanks for watching, and don't forget when you're on the Counterattack, even with a lovely cake, look weak side.